Thank you very much. I now call on Cathy Foley, Chief Scientist.
Thanks very much, and hello everyone. We've heard a lot about all the issues. I just want to go through and look at how to bridge the gap. So the first thing is we've got to recognise that as an economy we've got to shift what our industries are, and we've heard a lot of what they are, whether it's space, quantum, whether it's digital. But these are all going to need people who are skilled in different areas to the ones where our kids are growing up and thinking. We're seeing the number of children doing maths and science in high school dropping away at an alarming rate, and we need to see how we can encourage them to see this as their future. So let's go through and think about the scale. So far we've heard that we've got a lot of things to do. We've got the potential to have critical minerals transform our economy by being able to process them here. But if you think about the scale that is needed, and this is something we often don't think about, it's mind-boggling. I even find it hard to reconcile. I'll just give you an example. At the moment there are 40 billion devices connected to the internet globally. By 2030 there's going to be 350 billion. Now if you think about the amount of silicon and all the bits and pieces that go to make that, the number of jobs that are needed to be able to make that happen and the capability to do that is something which is hard to comprehend. And I could go through lots of other areas there too. So scale is something we really have to come to terms with. And to get the scale, that means we do have to work out how to have more women in science, technology, engineering and maths. And at the moment we've got over 260 programs trying to encourage girls in there, and I've been looking at this for nearly 40 years and we've failed miserably. So Minister Husic, I'm putting it to you, maybe we should be reviewing that and seeing how can we actually do better, work out what's working and what's not. We also recognise that as we go up the supply chain or go downstream with things, we need to have more vet-trained people, and especially in regions and areas which turn these great ideas into real outcomes. So therefore we probably need to consider how can we have a tech apprenticeship program that really is designed to be able to show our young people where the jobs of the futures are so that they actually see that as their future. At the moment, I think most kids wouldn't realise that there's lots of potential in areas which are maybe not even invented yet, and so therefore they go down those traditional pathways. Having clear tech apprenticeships will be something which will provide a pathway which will make better decisions. Then I guess the next thing is looking at, when we look at women in STEM, one of the biggest issues is trying to make sure we have job security. When we look at job insecurity, we always think of the gig economy, hospitality, service industries. But in actual fact, the tertiary sector is one of the worst when it comes to gig economy. For example, we have 9-year trained PhDs having 3-month jobs on a rotating basis. And guess what? They leave. And that is something which we can't condone. We need to see how we can, as the research sector, figure out who actually carries the risk. The big organisations, such as universities, need to carry more risk, and not the early career researcher who's trying to live hand to mouth from job to job. The next thing we need to consider is looking at how we can make sure we broaden the idea of diversity. We've heard about the need for women, but also age. At the moment, if you're old, forget it, you won't get a job. If you come from a culture background, just look around the room, there's a lot of waspish people here, and yet we've got a large number of multicultural people working in Australia. Where are they? But also what I want to really highlight, particularly in the physical sciences, is neurodiversity. We are not really bringing in people who don't necessarily fit that easy pathway into work, and there's a lot of people there to be taken. So just to finish off, we need to think about how we scale in a complex situation. We shouldn't be afraid. In Australia, we've got to have a systems design that is going to make the most of our full human potential. And we need to do this in a way which allows us to realise that it's not the laws of physics that are going to stop us, it's actually our minds that are going to stop us. And we need to be bold, we need to be imaginative, we need to have the courage to actually do things in ways we haven't done before, because this is our chance. And science and technology is going to lead us that way, but we are the people with our minds, and the way we approach things and the culture we choose to have is the way that we're going to deliver.